All right, today we're diving into something pretty incredible, where cutting-edge AI meets farming at the grassroots level. We're going to break down a solution called Kisaan Mitra, and it's designed to solve a huge problem for one of the biggest farming communities in the entire world. So let's get right into it. To really wrap your head around the scale we're talking about, just look at this number, 140 million. That's how many farmers there are in India. It's just a staggering figure, representing millions and millions of families who form the very backbone of the country's food supply. But here's the thing, the huge majority of them, we're talking over 3/4, are small farmers. And while the number of farmers is massive, the official support system for each one of them is stretched incredibly thin. It basically means a lot of them are left to figure things out all on their own. And this is where we run into the core problem, what you could call the farmer's dilemma. There's this massive structural gap in the support they can get. Let's take a look at just how wide that gap really is. This chart really puts it into perspective. For every single agricultural expert or extension officer out there, they're expected to serve over 1,000 farmers. 1,000. You can see how providing personalized, timely advice becomes, well, pretty much impossible. And this isn't just some small inconvenience. This gap has very real, very severe consequences. It leads directly to huge losses in production. We're talking about things like using the wrong pesticide or planting at the wrong time. And the economic fallout is just enormous, tens of thousands of crores. So how in the world do you solve a problem like that? How do you bridge that gap? Well, the answer might just be sitting in a tool millions of farmers already have right in their pockets. Let's meet the solution designed to do exactly that, Kisaan Mitra. The concept behind it is just brilliant in its simplicity. Kisaan Mitra is basically a virtual extension officer. It's an AI assistant that farmers can talk to whenever they need to, using the apps they already know and use every day, like WhatsApp or even just a normal phone call. And this is where it gets really smart. First, it's super accessible, right there on WhatsApp. No new apps to download. It's also multilingual and voice-first, which is a huge deal. It breaks down any literacy barriers. But crucially, its advice isn't from some random internet search. It's built on scientifically vetted research from India's top agricultural institutes. Plus, it's available 24/7, basically acting as a super-powered assistant for those few human experts. Okay, that all sounds fantastic in theory, but what does it actually look like for a farmer who's out in their field and needs an answer right now? Let's walk through it. For the farmer, it honestly couldn't be easier. Step 1, just open WhatsApp. Step 2, ask a question. You can type it, or even better, just record a voice note in your own local language. And step 3, you get a clear, step-by-step answer you can actually use right away. That's it. Simple. Now, behind that simple chat is a really sophisticated, and this is key, a really safe system. The AI isn't just scraping the web. It pulls its answers from a hand-picked, curated knowledge base from institutes like ICAR. The most important point here is that the AI synthesizes expert advice. It doesn't invent it. It's also locked down, so it won't give you advice on politics or finance, which keeps it focused and trustworthy. And the team behind this? It's the perfect combination of skills. On one side, you have Ch.Sarada, a principal scientist with over 26 years of deep agricultural research experience. She makes sure the advice is rock solid. On the other side, you have Nimesh, an AI pro with experience from places like Google and IIT Madras, making sure the tech is powerful, scalable, and secure. It's the best of both worlds. So, the idea is amazing, the team is incredible, but here's the million-dollar question. Does it actually work in the real world with real farmers? Well, the results from the pilot program are in, so let's take a look. First up, accuracy. How often did it get the facts right? Well, when they tested it against the official knowledge base, with over 1,000 questions, it scored a 95% accuracy rate. That's huge. It means the advice it's giving is overwhelmingly reliable. But what about the farmers themselves? I mean, did they actually find it useful? The answer is a resounding yes. In a field test with 164 farmers, they gave it a satisfaction score of 4.5 out of 5. They said it was easy to use, the answers were clear, and it was genuinely helpful. And now for what might be the most critical number of all, especially for an AI that's giving advice that impacts people's livelihoods. 0. That's the percentage of hallucinations. The AI did not make stuff up, not even once. And that's absolutely essential, because one bad piece of advice could ruin a whole crop. Trust is everything. So when you put it all together, the pilot was a massive success. It proves the solution is scientifically sound, it's trustworthy because it doesn't hallucinate, and yeah, it's ready to be rolled out on a much, much bigger scale. Okay, so we can see how this helps one farmer on their farm. But what happens when you zoom out? What's the ripple effect when you start to scale this up across the entire country? While the impact really stands on three main pillars. You've got direct economic gains, some pretty profound social empowerment, and on top of that, some really important environmental benefits.
Let's break that down real quick. Economically, when farmers make better decisions, they lose fewer crops and get bigger yields. That's a win for them and for the country's food security. Socially, it's about empowerment, giving them instant, reliable information in their own language. And environmentally, it encourages smarter use of things like fertilizers and pesticides, which is so much better for soil health in the long run. And the vision here is anything but small. The team's goal is to get this into the hands of at least 2 million farmers in the next 2 years, with a long-term goal of reaching over 20 million farmers. The potential for real, transformative change here is just immense. Which kind of leaves us with this one final, powerful thought. We usually think of big agricultural changes as new tractors or new seeds, but what if the next great leap forward from millions of farmers isn't actually in the field at all, but right there in their pocket? What if the future of farming is just a WhatsApp message away?